Yeah, I'm back from Offkai. Offkai was a really great experience. It was my first year there. It's the third year of it happening. It's Gen 3. I think it's pretty cute how Offkai is doing the whole VTuber agency, you know, generations for their different years. Instead of like Offkai 2024 or something, they do Gen 3. Of course, I streamed on Wednesday. I streamed the Kiara cosplay stream. It was great. It was awesome. And then I left on Thursday. I left and we were supposed to leave Utah, which is where I'm from. We were supposed to leave at 3. We ended up getting delayed a lot. Apparently, we're not the only ones. So we got delayed by 5 hours. So we were supposed to show up at Offkai at around 4:30, give or take. And we ended up showing up at 10. We got our badges. Shout outs to Offkai and Mari. Mari was the rep that I was talking to directly, who held my badge and gave me a goodie bag and stuff like that. Got the badge, dropped off our bags, and then went to the bistro where at the hotel, because that's the only place that was open at the time. We were gonna go out, and we hung out with Zolan and Vex until like 1 a.m. While I was with Mari, she told me, hey, would you like to do the opening ceremony for Offkai? I said, what? Because I had a couple of things. I had 3 things to do. This would be my 4th thing. And I said, at what time? It said 11:30. Okay, no problem. I'll do it. No worries. I had to do the opening ceremony at Offkai. Friday came around. Game time. 11:30 came around. I woke up and I went to the main stage where I had to do the opening ceremony and stuff. When I got there, it was really cool because they were doing sound checks for the panel right after the opening ceremony, which was Kyla and Biju, which was so cool to see. I'm just like, oh my God, that's them right there. They were talking to, of course, the AV team. I was just looking. I didn't talk to them or anything like that, but it was really, I don't know, it was cool to see behind the scenes stuff and seeing Biju and Kyla just hanging out kind of on the screen, right? After that, they let people into the main stage, the main ballroom and stuff, and I did the opening ceremony, and I had to improvise a bunch of stuff, and I had to come up with things to make it somewhat entertaining. You know, I didn't want it to be like all my whole thing. Okay, this is something that I wanted to talk about. I never emceed before in my life. Never went up on stage. I've never went up in front of a bunch of people like that. Never have I done this before in my life. And this is something that I wanted to try out to see if I like it. When I did the panel at WeebCon back in, I don't remember where it was, earlier this year, I liked it. I liked being in front of people. I liked having a mic, and it was really fun talking to people at WeebCon that were there, right? So I liked it, and I decided, you know what, let's do this. And when Offkai came to me, say, hey, do you want to do more of it? And I said, yeah, let's try it out. This is the first time I do it. I'm not gonna lie, I was very nervous. I swallowed the pit that was in my throat, and I'm not gonna lie, I started thinking to myself, and I realized that I've been on this situation before many times when I play fighting games. If you have been on stage or in a tournament and you are literally about to win the whole thing or very close to it, or some crazy thing happens, gets really close, adrenaline starts to hit your brain. It's a similar feeling. So I went out there and I hope I did well. People tell me that I did well. I don't know how to determine if I do good or not. This is kind of like my base, right? If I MC after this, that's when I know it's like, okay, I did better this, or I did worse than this, etc., etc. People said I did good, and that's all I can ask for, really. It was great. It was awesome. It was really fun. I will admit that I really, the energy that you feel when you're on stage is pretty crazy. After that, I hung around the convention. I heard that the artist alley, the line for that freaking place was out the door of the hotel. It was outside, and it was so crazy long that people started posting things on Twitter, and that's when I saw it, because I didn't see it myself. I'll be completely honest, I was a guest at that convention, and all I had to do was go, and they let me in. I did not know you could do this until later in the day. So I didn't go until later when I was talking to others, and they told me that. They're like, oh, you can just show your guest badge. And Faith really wanted to get in there. And she's like, wait, you could do that? Let's go right now. We get to the artist alley. She bought a whole bunch of stuff. All that Faith does, I didn't buy anything because I don't know. Just didn't buy anything. So Faith, what she does is she looks for her friends and she tries to buy their stuff. And there was a bunch of meet and greets there, like Kawa was there and V did it and stuff like that. So that was really cool. I went to do my first panel. I went to my first panel that I had to MC, and that was Tara and Mint's panel. And I was not aware that they were there. They were there. I met them in person and they are both adorable. Yeah, they were there. They were in the back. They were getting set up for their stuff and they were both extremely nice. I will tell you right now, Tara has this unnatural talent to make everyone's day better. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know if that's like a mom, like everyone calls her mom. Like it's like, you know, mommy roach. It's true. Mint was a little gremlin. She was just a little ball of energy. She was just ready to go. All right. She was going nuts. She was super funny, super energetic. Watching those two together was a blast. Okay. Because the way that you see them on Twitter, the way you see them on stream and stuff is the same way they act off stream, like together. I'm not even kidding. Tara had this weird idea for when people were coming in, like when they opened up the main stage for this this panel, because after every panel they clear out the room so they can do some sound checks and stuff. Tara wanted me to sit down in a chair like what I did on stream. I sit down, grab a chair, sit down in the middle of the stage and just stare at people and not say anything, which would have been really funny, but I don't think they wanted me to do that, which I did it. So instead, what I did was I just sat there the entire time during the panel. There was something that I thought might have been, I felt really bad for the Mint enjoyers. All of them sat in the middle because there was a camera that pointed to the middle of the crowd so the talents can see that. And from the back, just letting you know, from the back where they were, they have a screen, a monitor where the Offkai crew can show them the camera so they can see the audience. And they can see like the back of the audience, the front of the audience, etc., etc. It's great. All these Mint enjoyers sat in the middle so because they wanted to see, they wanted Mint to see them. So they were all cosplaying. They had a whole bunch of freaking stuff for Mint. They had, you know, that snake cosplayer that was there. Throughout this thing, they was so packed that they had to literally move everybody to the side. So which means that the Mint enjoyers that were in the middle were gonna be moved to the left side of the stage. And I felt really bad. My opinion personally is everybody should just scoot into the middle and all the people that are coming in fill up the sides. That's me personally. I felt really bad because these people were there like waiting for Mint and they wanted Mint to see them. To be honest, I'm not blaming anybody. Offkai they were just wanting to get things moving along, and this is the first time they really had like super packed all this stuff for a panel. So they just wanted to get everything just going. Looking back at it, it would have been better if they just said, hey, everyone move to the middle and get that. Okay. Anyways, that's the only thing about that panel that was like, that could have been changed. I'm surprised how comfortable you are in front of a massive crowd. I'll be honest with you, being in front of a crowd at first was terrifying, especially because I'm emceeing for VTubers, meaning they're not there for me. So if they're booing the VTubers, guess who's taking the boos? Me. I'm taking all that energy and it doesn't feel good, but I'll do it. On the flip side, whenever they cheer and they do cool things and stuff, I get all that energy too. So it's great. That panel went really well, opened up for Q&A and stuff, and I just sat there. Mint and Tara panel went great. My Friday, done. However, after that panel, they were like, are you invited to the mixer? And I'm like, oh man, I wanted to go back to the hotel and watch Pawn Stars. I've been saying this all week and I'm gonna say it to you guys because I want this engraved, okay? I love chilling and doing nothing on someone else's dime. It's my favorite shit. Someone gives me a free hotel and a free airplane ride, I'm hella gonna try to not do anything. Offkai had a maid cafe, a Vishojo maid cafe, which they served like sandwiches and cookies and a whole bunch of stuff. And they had a whole bunch of different maids going around dressed up as maids, and they were doing, you know, I never been to a maid cafe. It's a fun experience. People like it, you know. I didn't know what that was. I was confused. But the mixer was at that maid cafe, and I went to that mixer, and it was great. They had a raffle, they had a bunch of stuff to give away, and they also had this was for like, this is an industry mixer, stuff like that. Holy shit! We went to the mixer. I met a lot of people there, really cool people. Like I met the Vita Ramen guy. I think his name is Tim or Jim, I don't remember, but I met him. He was really cool. I also met Skara. Skara was there, and I met him in person. Me and Skara are buds now. It was great. Ko was getting married to Skara. I feel so stupid. I was introducing Scara to Faith. I switched. You know that thing I do where I switch things around all the time? I said, Faith is my fiance, Scara. And he's like, what the fuck? I felt so stupid, dude. I felt so stupid. Vex was there. She saw the whole thing happen. It was great. So next day, Saturday, big day. This was the concert and this was another panel. The morning, I didn't do anything. I chilled. But I started my day with the Henya panel. And the Henya panel was I think went really well. I think was really fun. I had a fantastic time with Henya. I think Henya is just super cute. They asked me to be with her because she's afraid that she's gonna misinterpret stuff, and she's afraid that she's not gonna understand certain things. So she wanted somebody there to be able to reiterate stuff and just kind of and just be there with her, right? To kind of bounce off of somebody. And I think it went really well. I think it was really fun. A lot of people asked a lot of questions, and yeah, she's just it went really well. I liked it. She learned the yes sir, you know, and it was fun, and I really can't say anything else other than that, other than it went really well, and I had a blast, and she was super cute. After the Henya panel, I think I remember me just going back to the hotel and relaxing a little bit before the concert. Maybe I missed something else. I'm not sure. Either way, went back to the hotel, chilled, relaxed, because the concert was happening. They wanted me to come like an hour early, so I came back there, and this was the big event. This was the time where I had to pack up the Kiara cosplay and show it off and stuff, and the concert was like the biggest event because it was packed to the brim. Kiara was performing, a whole bunch of different VTubers like Bao, like Aruven, like Kira Lily, whole bunch of different VTubers performing. And they also had the Offkai community choir there, and it was all being streamed, and I had to MC with Vivi. Big shout outs to Vivi, because Vivi she's a little ball of energy that's super fun. The sound checks went well. They took our profiles, which means that they were adding compression to our voices depending and how high the compression needs to be depending. I'll say this, the concert went extremely smooth. The reason why I was very happy with it was because last year I heard Offkai Live was about 3 hours late. I think that was mostly every panel though, from my understanding, including Offkai Live. So instead of it being at 7:30 or 8 or whatever they promised last year, it was at 11, and it ended at way late at night. It was kind of rough. It was very rough, and some you know, people were upset, and very justifiably so. This year they weren't late, but they were a little delayed because they were trying to get everyone in the auditorium, as many people to fit as possible. They capped it out. There were so many people there that they're like, okay, we have to make sure that everyone, so they had like security people being like, all right, fill up this row first, everybody go in and nobody move, right? That type of stuff. And they did it all. With that being said, that took around 45 minutes. So with that being said, 45 minutes is how long it took for the concert to get started, which I think is a great improvement from last year. So it went very smooth, community choir. Then I went out there with Vivi, and it was I already was used to it from Henya's panel, Mint's panel, and the opening ceremony. So I was not as nervous. However, there was a lot of people there, man. Like that, compared to the other panels, this was insane. Vivi and I were talking about bits, and we were talking about things we should do, how to make people kind of feel good and entertain people, stall people. We did have an indicator to stall, and we did have an indicator to get off. So if we needed to stall, we had some tactics and stuff, and we did have to stall a few times, specifically for the final 3 performers. That happened, and it was great. And from my understanding, Kiara crashed right before her performance, so we needed to stall, and we did. It was perfect because it was right before Kiara's number, and I had the cosplay, so we could have fun with the cosplay. And yes, I got in the cosplay. You guys saw it on Twitter if you guys didn't. And also, I did the Holotori dance on stage with no music. It was so awkward. If they had music, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But it was very weird without music, but I was able to get it done. And sealed off the night with Kiara, and it was really fun. It was really fun. You could really tell the stalling you're doing with all the extra stuff with the cosplay. I'm glad they gave us that time because a lot of people, I'm telling you, a lot of people were there. telling me about the cosplay. Hey, you brought the cosplay? Yeah, you're gonna wear the cosplay. I hope you get in the cosplay. I hope I get to see the cosplay today. Everyone and their mother is just telling me about this damn cosplay. And I'm like, I swear, if I just didn't go through with it, I would get jumped. But no, I did it. I did it. I'm a man of my word. And then after the concert, what do we do? I think that was call me. Why? For what? I need to tell chat what? What happened after the concert? Oh, are you talking about the 18 plus or the night alley? That was the 18 plus alley. Yeah. We went to the night market afterwards. You want to tell that? Why? All right, if you want to tell it. I mean, I don't have any. We met people there and we saw things there. And it's an 18 plus section. That thing was capped after the concert. Yeah, it was capped, but you know, I also did the same thing. I'm like, hey, sure. I actually felt really bad doing that. Can I be honest with you? I mean, like at the time I didn't feel bad, but looking back at it, it felt bad. Because like half the time I was like, hey, I'm a guest. And then I was like, oh yeah, go in. And then they would go, by the way, love your content. I'm like, oh shit, this is what it feels like, huh? I guess everybody did it. All the guests did it. Hi. Okay. So what do you want to say?
Hi, chat. I know that you're just going to like brush over it really fast. And I don't want you to brush over it really fast.
Wait, why?
Okay.
Yeah, we saw Vil there. Vil was there.
We did see Vil and Ava. Yeah, oh, and then Ava. We met Miss Lala.
Yeah, Miss Lala was awesome. Yeah.
So Ko is a very innocent person. Actually, sorry.
This is where you're going? Okay.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't say innocent. He's sheltered. He's a sheltered individual. So anyway, we were just like chatting for a bit, whatever. And then we started, and there was like tables everywhere, and they were selling like 18 plus content. We were walking through some of the tables and looking at stuff, and it was Hitai of VTubers, naked VTubers that he's like friends with, you know. I guess that could be like a little awkward. And it was like full on, like you saw everything. This is the reason why I wanted to hop on the call, right? So there was this table that had like, it had doujins and it had comics and like, you know, hentai, right? He picked up one of the books and it had panels of hentai, but they were like colored, whatever. And he's just wide-eyed. He's like, huh? They put this stuff in books? They draw this stuff? It's so detailed. And like, I didn't
say they put this stuff in books. I didn't say that.
Oh, what did you say? These are comics?
No, I said people read this.
Oh yeah, people read this and you look at me.
Because how can you read that? How do you read that shit? You can't.
People ain't reading that. People ain't reading those panels.
People aren't reading that. No, how do you people read this?
You were like wide-eyed. You were like, huh? You were so confused at the fact that there was like what hentai like comics looked like. You were flabbergasted and shocked. It was really funny watching you because you were picking up like a couple of the different like books they had out. It's like skimming through it and you're like, oh my god. It was so funny. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. And he's like, I don't know where to look. This is weird. I feel uncomfortable. I mean, he didn't say he felt uncomfortable.
No, I mean, like, it was just weird because, like, there were people there with, like, pasties and stuff. And I'm like, it's like the Vegas thing, right? It's like, you know, having those showgirls or whatever. It's like, I mean, like, I was always like, okay, don't look, you know, it's weird, you don't want to stare at people and stuff, but I'm like, how can I not stare? They're like, everything's out. How can I, like, where do I look? I don't know where to look. That was my first time, you know, doing something like that. I never really, like, this is like watching porn with the boys, you know, it's like really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
You know, it's, yeah, it was just like, because they also had a screen with a hentai on and they were just full on just going at it, just like penetration, everything in the hentai. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, you watch some jobs
and there's
with
like
the boys.
people here. Like, do people get erections? Like, just being there?
I don't know. You can ask chat. Hey, chat. Do you guys get erections at going to things like that in public?
Don't ask my chat that. But yeah, no. Everything was pretty awesome. Everything went pretty well, and I enjoyed my Offkai experience. And I would definitely go over there again and MC again. I'll even MC more of it. You know.